Good day. In this video, we're going to open up some locks using a snap gun. Here's one here. This is, I guess, what you would call a Chinese snap gun, very inexpensive, probably around $20 or so. This one is called a Lock Aid by Life. And basically how the snap gun works is that there's a coil spring in here attached to this post, and when you squeeze this trigger it releases the spring and causes this bar and this tang to snap in an upward direction very quickly and very powerfully. You can control the tension of the snap with this device right here, this wheel. There's a high and there's a low. Just turn the wheel down to toward the H to get a stronger snap, and up to the L to get a weaker snap, basically. And you can, depends upon the lock as to which how strong or how weak you want to make the snap go. And this is the normal gun you see. There's another one made by Sparrows. Here it is. Now it works basically the same way. It has a high and a low for tension. It has a spring, it has a trigger, and it has the tang out here to do the snapping. But the difference between this one and the Chinese one is this has a double snap to it. So it goes up once, then again, hitting the pins twice. You hit click twice. Hard to see. You squeeze it slowly, you can get one click, another squeeze, you get the other click. Or squeeze it hard and get both clicks at one time. Now, this tang here goes right below the pins in the lock. And what it does, when it snaps up, it hits the key pins hard, which drives up and hits the driver pins. And what you're trying to do is separate, make a separation between the two types of pins, so the shear line is exposed, and then using a turning tool you turn the core and unlock the lock. And this is done in a fraction of a second, and you have to be quick in order to be able to turn the core once the shear line has been met. Now the pick guns come with these tangs, and they come in different lengths and straight and at an angle, and they're made out of a steel. I've only broken one, but they can be broken. This nut on the front adjusts to be able to take out the tang and put it back in again, or as you're doing this, occasionally this will get loose and this will flop, and you have to stop and tighten it back up again. That's the only drawback. The Sparrows one here seems to do that more often than the Chinese one does. The Chinese one has a different way. It has a wing nut. Well, I put the wing nut on. It usually has a regular square nut that you have to hold and then use a screwdriver to tighten it. But I found out getting a wing nut from the hardware store makes it a whole lot easier to twist and tighten it up. You still have to get a screwdriver, hold it while you're tightening the wing nut up to make it nice and tight. It's got to be very tight, because all the vibration again will knock it loose and you won't be able to open up the lock. This is a little trick, not a trick, but a little tip. Get yourself a chapstick container. It could be any brand. Get them at the dollar store for hardly anything. And take the wax out of it. And to do that, you just have to scoop it out with a tension tool will work, or heat it up and melt it out. And what you can do, this becomes a container to hold all your tangs in. Keeps it convenient instead of having them loose or in a bag someplace. Easy to find. Okay, now we'll go ahead and opening up some locks. I've got about 6 here, different types: Abus, Brinks, Yale, and Master. And we'll see how many of them we can open up with these snap guns. I'll be using a variety of tensioning tools, top of the keyway and bottom of the keyway tensioning tools, different widths and lengths. It depends upon the lock as to what tension tool to use. And both these guns open up some locks, and another gun won't open up the same lock. So that's why I have 2 of them here. I'll be interchanging them along with the tensioning tools for each lock until I can find the right combination to open the lock up. So let's start with this Abus 80 Ti 50. And we'll use top of the keyway. This has a fairly large keyway. Put that in there. And let's try the Sparrows first. See if it will open. Now you need to put this tang parallel to the key pins, right below them. You can't be touching them or touching the bottom of the keyway. It's got to be right in the middle, and there's got to be enough room for this to, when you snap it, that the tang can go up and down. If the keyway is too tight or the warding is too tight and this can't move up and down, you're not going to snap the pins and it won't open the lock. So it depends upon the keyway of the lock, how wide, how narrow, if it's paracentric or not, whether or not you can even use a snap gun. But we should be able to with this. Now you don't want to go all the way back. You want to go back as far as it goes, but then pull it back out. And it depends upon how many pins you got in there, whether you got a 4 or 5 or a 6 pin as to how far it goes into. You want to make sure that the tang is underneath all the pins, but not against the warding or the back of the lock. There. That one was snapped open. Now, what you need to do also when you're doing this with the tension tool, get another tension tool here, is that you need to flex up and down the tension tool as you're snapping the gun. So you'll be going like this, hoping to catch the pins being separated at the shear line and giving enough tension to rotate the core to unlock the lock. So let's try this one with the Chinese. Try using the double action Sparrow, see if that will open it up. Nope, that drove the tension far down into the bottom of the lock and wedged the lock. So let's try a wider one. didn't seem to work, so we'll try top of the keyway with this. Go with the single action Chinese. There we go. So you can see it takes a variety of tension tools and sometimes snap guns in order to open up a lock. One size doesn't always fit all. Here we have an old Yale. I don't know the model number of this. If anybody knows, you can put that down in the comments. It has a wide keyway. Let me see, we'll try the top of the keyway. This is a 50,000 bar. We'll see how that will do. We'll try the Sparrows. Pulsing the tension bar. Okay, could hear it set some pins there. Let's see if the Chinese will have any better luck. That's another thing about top of the keyway and using the tension bar. Top of the keyway, you can pop out the pry bar very easily. Snap it right out of there. Let's try bottom of the keyway. See how that will do. There we go. All right, now we'll go into a different brand. We're going to Master. This is a 930. And we'll try bottom of the keyway. Let's see here. Be careful not to catch it on this little lip here. You'll never open it. Sorry about hitting the camera. Okay. Use the Sparrows. Switch over to the Chinese. If I can get a better grip on this. It's a big lock to hold in your hand. There we go. And we'll try another Avis, A340. This also has a large keyway. We'll try top keyway and see if that will work with this. Sparrows double action. Hope I don't knock out the tension tool, which I did. This doesn't open up all padlocks, so it does open up some front door slag and quick sets. I got it, but I couldn't get it to turn without slipping out. Go to Chinese here. Nope, we'll try bottom of the keyway. See if that's any better. Seems to be pinching. There. Persistence pays off. You just have to be patient. It's not an instant open type of thing, and it does require a little bit of technique to it. And one more master. This is a 530. And we'll go bottom of the keyway. Try the Japanese. Periodically check your tang here, make sure it is tight in there and not working its way out. This is, I think, a 4-pinner, so go into the very back and then pull it out slightly. And there we have it. This time, the tension wrench does get caught in this lock. I usually have to just pry it out with a screwdriver because it gets caught in, it gets pinched in between the core and this guard out here. There we go. Alrighty. Oops, excuse me. There you have it. A lesson in using a snap gun. Sparrows and the Chinese. Between the two, this is works just as well, if not better sometimes, than the Sparrow does, but they're both good guns and they both work. You just got to remember you'll use different types of tension tools and different types of methods of trying to get the pin struck up into the Bible and turn the core. So I hope you've learned something here, and if you have any questions on snap guns, please write them down in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you for watching.